Well, let's look at 1 Corinthians 10. Keep backing up. We're backing up through the Bible tonight because the fourth element of personal sanctification is in 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 13. First element was grace-energized men abstain, 1 Peter 2:11, from anything that promotes lust. Romans 13:14, starving their flesh. Romans 12:9, hating evil. And now in 1 Corinthians 10:13, here's another habit. We cultivate. We say, God, I want to abstain. God, I want to starve. I want to make no provision. God, I want to hate evil. And the instant we say we want that, His grace gives us the strength to do that. But look at 1 Corinthians 10:13. Grace-energized men look for God. This is a daily, purposeful, and planned focus on pleasing the Lord in all things. Start your day crying out for Christ's help, that you will look for Him. Verse 13, no temptation has overtaken you. What that means, literally, think in terms of what he's saying. He's saying all of us are being followed by temptation all the time. Temptation's dogging us, always on our heels, kind of like the people that push the cart too close to you in the shopping center or the supermarket, and they hit the back of when you're walking, they hit, or you ever at the airport, people are bumping into you with those baggage carts. They're overtaking you. Well, temptation is overtaking us at all times. That's the picture. He says you're just being followed by, just think of this whole wave of temptation. No temptation is overtaking you such as is common to man. Don't think you're the only one in the world struggling with whatever you're struggling with. That was one of the geniuses of Ray Stedman when he started working in San Francisco with the whole drug and immoral culture there. That when people were gloriously saved, they became ministers to others. And they had a ministry to others because when someone would come in and they would say, I'm struggling with this, Stedman would go and he'd point and he'd say, over here, Bill. That's exactly what Bill was delivered from. Bill, go over and stand by Jim. And they'd go stand together and they'd start ministering to each other. And then someone else would come. And Stedman, this body life, that instead of them coming and hearing this just mere lecture, that there was a body ministering to one another. It's not like we're alone. It's common to man. But look at verse 13. Here's the essence of this verse. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted above what you're able. God has a little temptation meter. It's kind of like a little tire gauge. He knows the pressure. He knows when you're going to pop, when you're going to blow, when you're not going to be able to stand anymore. And He never allows anyone. God holds down the temptation level, and while He's holding it down, He's pointing to the exit. Notice what it says. He will not allow you to be tempted above what you're able, but will with the temptation, when those temptations that are chasing you and overtaking you finally jump on you and are right there in your face, He makes a way of escape that you may be able to bear it. There's a huge truth in this verse. We need to stop and really lay hold of it. God is there all the time. I don't know what you struggle with. Could be with eating. That's one of the great sins of America. Obese Christians. That is an oxymoron. Christians are supposed to be disciplined, and they're supposed to have complete control over their desires and to look at the American Christian. I mean, it's a mockery to the world. They snicker at us and what we say. It could be that you have a possession. You feel good when you buy stuff. It could be that you have a fear thing that you struggle with. It doesn't matter what it is. When that temptation comes, look what it says. God is there all the time. You're never alone. I'm never alone. No matter what we think, in our car, in our homes, out on the road, wherever, we're never alone. Walking through that airport, being off in college, being off in Iraq or wherever, you're never alone. God is there. He is faithful. And the longer we meditate on this verse 13, the more we see the shadow of God that's hovering over it. It is God who is standing over us. It is God who is always ready to deliver us if we but look to Him. God is not distant. He is never closer than at the point where temptation grabs us, where we feel those claws into our heart, into our mind, into our desires. And God is right there all the time. He never allowed us to have more temptation on us than what we can bear. And what He does is, He says, there's a way for you to escape. Ask for my grace. See where grace gets involved? All we have to do is say, Lord, I don't want to do this again. Lord, I don't want. Lord, I've said it 100 times and I've failed 100 times, but I don't want. And he gives us the grace at that moment to say no and to go away. Have you allowed that truth to sink into your soul? Is the truth of verse 13 a part of your operating system? God is faithful. God will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you're able. God will, with the temptation, make a way of escape. God says you can bear it. You don't have to give in. You don't have to yield. You don't have to fail. God has already measured and limited the attack upon us. He is already providing an escape route if only we'll look for it and take it. If we are alone and facing temptation, we would be hopelessly defeated, but God knows that already. So He's there. He's there all the time. He's there every time. And He has the best way of escape marked out for us. You know, you go to the hotel, on the back of the door it has a little red dot, you're here, and a little thing saying that's how you get out if this place is on fire. God has mapped out every room of every day of our life. And wherever it is, or whoever it is, or however it is that you come to that point where you always find your nemesis, as I just saw in a missionary letter, this missionary wrote, he said, such and such is my kryptonite. Sure dates him, you know. He's a Superman fan. And he said that this certain thing always makes me fail. Well, God knows what your kryptonite is, what causes you to be tempted. And He always makes an escape route.